Ben Shapiro is calling for Chauvin, the man who is supposedly responsible for George Floyd's death. He's calling for him to be pardoned. Yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting. How are you guys all doing? Welcome to the channel. I am Ty Smith. You're watching my channel, Model Renaissance Man, in which I'm greatly appreciative of. Make sure you guys are following all the platforms you see above and the ones below. Hitting this thumbs up button is how my content can stay consistently recommended to you. If and when you do subscribe to the channel, make sure you hit the bell notification ding in the process, and then it will bring up another little, tab that will allow you to select all notifications. Last but not least, go check out my other YouTube channel and subscribe to it. No, there is no content on there right now. It's called Man, Husband, Father. I'm building an audience before I put content out there. That way you guys don't miss anything there, okay? Again, it's called Man, Husband, Father, and all you guys are welcome, okay? So make sure you do that, okay? So ladies and gentlemen, Ben Shapiro made a video calling for Chauvin to be pardoned for not necessarily being responsible for George Floyd's death. And my guy Brandon Tatum had a few things to say about it. If you don't know who it is, the Officer Tatum, my guy Brandon Tatum, good friend of mine. He has some disagreements on this, but I want you guys to watch this video so you can hear the different things on that. You get to hear from a medical professional. I've already covered this, but I want to, reiterate why I decided what I decided when it comes to this. So check this video out, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go.
This is the most ridiculous thing I ever heard in my life.
President Trump should, in fact, pardon Derek Chauvin. He should. He should pardon him his federal charges. The evidence demonstrates that Derek Chauvin did not, in fact, commit murder of George Floyd. George Floyd was high on fentanyl. He had a significant pre-existing heart condition.
A lot of people have a lot of opinions on this, but most of them have never watched the body cam footage. It's available online. You know the gist. George Floyd buys a banana, then tries to use a fake $20 bill. The police are called, and a maniacal George Floyd gives officers a hard time.
Step out and face away. Step out and face away.
Okay, please don't shoot me. Please, man.
I'm not going to shoot you. Step out and face away.
I'm going to get you out of here, man. Stop resisting, man. I'm not. Yes, you are.
Okay.
Please, man. Please don't do that. Take a seat. I'm going in, Mr. Officer. I'm going in. No, you're not. I got to go in. Take a seat.
Grab a seat, man.
Mind, y'all don't believe me, Mr. Officer. Take a seat. I'm not that kind of guy. Y'all, I'm going to die in here. Take a seat. I'm going to die, man. You need to take a seat right now. And I just had COVID, man. I don't want to go back to that.
The key to remember is that the autopsy showed no life-threatening injuries, but deadly traces of fentanyl, norfentanyl, methamphetamine, and morphine. My God, no wonder he was dancing around like this. Your biggest clue that this didn't kill George Floyd was him yelling, "I can't breathe," before he ever touched the ground.
His lack of putting George Floyd in the recovery position, him kneeling on him while he's complaining that he can't breathe, him doing all of that over time was a contributing factor to the fentanyl and meth and all kind of the stuff. If George Floyd was never in the position that he was in, I don't think he would have died. I really don't.
All right, so you guys heard that, you saw that. Shout out to my guy, Brandon Tatum. And I would have to say, I agree with Brandon Tatum is saying right here to an extent. Okay, and the reason why I say that is this. George Floyd had a dangerous, as y'all can see, that is true, medicinal wise, he had a huge amount of this stuff in his system, okay? George Floyd definitely did. Now, what I want you guys to know as well is this. Before George Floyd, which y'all didn't see in this video here, George Floyd started yelling at the cops even when they had him in the car. "I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Hey, get me out the car. Put me on the ground. Put me on the ground, man. Come on." This video doesn't even show how crazy George Floyd got. So what I'm telling you guys is this. One of the things of the methamphetamine and also the fentanyl, one thing that they can do, they can reduce your heart or give you something called bradycardia, okay? George Floyd started flipping out, going crazy, hyperventilating, which slowed his heart even more. But at the same time, it caused his fight or flight mechanism in his body to kick off. Adrenaline gets rushed out into the system. The heart rate shoots up. Now he gets something called tachycardia, which can increase his heart rate. So he has this huge thing with his heart the drugs, making his heart rate supposed to drop. Adrenaline kicks in, make it go back up. So we had this huge spike of his heart rate shooting up, heart rate going down, tachycardia, bradycardia, hyperventilated, deoxygenation to the brain. Chauvin kneels on him with one side of his neck. And again, that video is horrible. I'm not going to show it. But guys, you do have another side of your neck right here where oxygen and everything can get through the carotid arteries, right? But check this out. What people miss as a key factor in here is the fact that it wasn't just Chauvin, however you say his name, it wasn't just him. It was also, in my opinion, from my medical expertise, it also was a result of the other cops being on his back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you know anything about breathing in the diaphragm, how the lungs expand and contract whenever you do breathe. We breathe in, they expand. Breathe out, they deflate. If you putting pressure on somebody every time they breathe in and go out and they can't get it back in because it's being constricted, every time you do it, it flattens and flattens and flattens to where you can't really get anything in. It's like being squeezed by a snake. So I would argue that a combination of all the drugs he had in his system, the hyperventilating, the increased heart rate, the decreased heart rate, in other words, tachycardia, bradycardia, along with the hyperventilation, which we do know can cause deoxygenation to the brain, which can cause someone to faint or pass out. In my opinion, I say in this case, they may want to turn it over to where it can be like involuntary manslaughter. But to me, it definitely doesn't seem like that is the sole contributing cause to why George Floyd died. The original autopsy let us know what was the reason George Floyd passed away. But then in my opinion, they end up politicizing this, right? They politicized it. They put it out there in the news. It was going on during a time where people just had high tensions because of all the nonsense that was going on in our country. We had people that were burning down buildings, breaking into things, and Antifa is involved in all this. It turned to almost an elevated race war type scenario. All kind of things went crazy. But one thing is for goddamn on sure. George Floyd was no type of hero. George Floyd was not a martyr. And in my opinion, it should be an insult to a lot of black folks' intelligence that the best they have for us to parade, to uplift, to make us seem like we should be honoring is a lifelong freaking criminal. And if George Floyd is a criminal, and I'm telling you that they want it out there like he's a hero and they parade him around, then none of you should have anything to say about Donald Trump. You shouldn't have nothing to say about President Trump, right? Because he's a convicted felon, right? Like George Floyd. So where's Trump statues? Isn't that what we praise, black folks? I mean, isn't it what we do? We praise the degeneracy, right? So if Trump is a felon and a crook and all that, why aren't we giving President Trump the same exact type of honor, the same exact type of exuberance and zeal towards Trump that we giving towards George Floyd? Yeah, y'all not going to want to answer that question right there because it completely kills the narrative. Case in point, there's no reason George Floyd needed to have any type of statues because he didn't do nothing for no black folks at all. What George Floyd did was able to bring in a movement through his death to get black people pimped and played by Black Lives Matter. And I'm not just talking about those 3 lesbian witches that started it. I'm talking about other activists as well that played black folks, stole from black folks, and black folks still can't say nothing about it. Why? Because you have too much pride to say that I got duped, I got played, we got done wrong. Plain and simple. So guys, what are your thoughts on this? In my opinion, I think that Chauvin and the other 2 cops, especially ones that was on his back, should get a thrown at them involuntary manslaughter because there was no premeditated, there was no intentions on killing George Floyd. Him kneeling on the neck is a whole nother ball game right there. I understand that, but again, that was not, according to the original autopsy, was not a sole cause to why George Floyd lost his life. You guys, all, let me know what y'all think about it. Put in the comments below after this video. And don't forget to do what you guys see in the animation right there. And if you want to see the next video that I will be doing in chronological order, right here, things as a variety, boom. I am Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing. Most of all, praying every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.